Everyone, I hope you're doing well. Today I have a review and book talk about The Unexpected Everything by Morgan Matson. Can I just say, this cover is stunning, and look, it has a surprise for you on the inside. And it's so pretty naked. This is Morgan Matson's fourth book, I believe, and it follows the main character Andy, who is the senator's daughter, and she's very structured and always needs a plan, and she doesn't have the best relationship with her dad. And her plan for the summer is to do this pre-college med program at Johns Hopkins to get away from her dad. And basically her plans fall through, and she ends up having to stay at home for the summer, getting a job as a dog walker. One of the things that I liked about this book and that separated it from other Morgan Matson's books is that Andy had friends already, and that the book wasn't about her trying to get out in the world and make friends. She had this like tight-knit group of friends throughout the book that you got to know really well. Also, the love interest Clark is so fantastic and so amazing. I loved him so much and is one of the reasons why this is one of my favorite Morgan Matson books now. Overall, this is just a very light summery read. It's everything that I wanted in a summer contemporary, and I give it a solid 90%. So that is it for the non-spoilery section. If you haven't read it, you should go do that now and then come back to join the book talk section. So for those of you who are still here that have read it, I would just like to start with a Clark appreciation rant, because Morgan Matson knows her audience and knows that teenage book-loving girls really just want a boy who can read. That's not can read. A boy who loves to read. That's personally what I want, and then Morgan Matson's like, you know what? I'm just gonna have the love interest be a prodigy writer slash very successful author. Like, why not? Why not? On top of that, he has brown hair and brown eyes and glasses. Like, he's just perfect. And I like how he isn't like super like suave and cool like he is, but he's also super awkward. Like, Andy and Clark's first encounters are super awkward and he doesn't know how to talk to her. I feel like this book is aptly named because a lot of the things that happened in this book were unexpected. Like, they kind of went against the standard YA contemporary mold, which I liked. Like, Andy and Clark's first date at the Mexican restaurant, you're like, it's gonna be like really cute, and it wasn't. It's so uncomfortable because Andy refuses to have a genuine conversation with him. And then at the end of the night when she's like, yeah, I had a really great time, he's like, no you didn't. Like, really, really? And then they have, I consider it their real first date, where Birdie gets sick. There he is in the front cover. I love Birdie. Birdie was one of my favorite parts of this book. Birdie gets sick, and then they spend the entire night together, and they actually have the real date where they have genuine conversations, and it's so freaking cute. It wasn't just Andy and Clark's story, it was about Andy and her dad. And their relationship kind of consolidates really close to the beginning of the book, and then you see them grow closer throughout the book, which I really liked. I liked how they had like bi-weekly meals, and that he's like negotiating with her and teaching her how to negotiate. One character I didn't really expect to like was Topher. At the end of the book, I'm like, Toph, I don't know, my heart just reached out to him. At the beginning of the book, Andy's friends don't really like him. That set me up to believe he was gonna be a total jackass. I thought he was gonna get between Andy and Clark, and he doesn't. Like, she's like, yeah, I'm dating this guy, and he completely backs off. But at the end, at the party, after she breaks up with Clark and they're making out and she stops him and she's like, I can't do this because I'm in love with this other guy, and he's just genuinely like shocked and doesn't know what to say. I sometimes wonder if maybe in the beginning if we'd actually, and then you can tell he's about to say that like, I thought we'd be together, or like, if I was gonna be with someone, I'd want to be with you. I think in that moment you really realize that he truly is Andy's equivalent. Like, he lives this very structured life because his mom is also in politics, so he understands her on that level. And he also has the same potential to open up and have relationships like she does with Clark. And I know Morgan Matson is writing another book, and a part of me just wants it to be a spin-off about Topher. So let's get into this whole friend drama thing. Where I found the book got really tedious and kind of like, ugh, to read was the whole thing with Bree and Wyatt and all that friend drama. This is where I get kind of biased because I definitely prefer fantasy as a genre at this point in my life. And the issues in fantasy books are like life or death, like world wars, like that kind of thing. So like, Bree having a boyfriend that Toby was obsessed with was kind of like, really? And then what was really frustrating is that Andy walks in on Wyatt and Bree, they're making out, and then Andy's solution to this whole situation was like, let's lie. We're gonna lie until the end of the summer because you and Wyatt are gonna break up and like all of this will just go away. And Bree was like, we should tell the truth, right? Andy's like, no. We're gonna go with my plan. And I'm just like, no! Like, Andy's even said that she doesn't read, but like, have you not seen movies? Like, have you not, like, seen anything in pop culture? Like, lies have a way of getting out, and like, oh God, it was just so frustrating and painful to read. This is also where I kind of decided that I didn't like Toby. I liked Toby throughout the book, sort of. Like, she's just like a very fun, firecrackery kind of character, and I thought it was ridiculous that she was so obsessed with Wyatt when he clearly wasn't interested in her, but like, that was fine. And then this happened where she was like ready to end her friendship with Bree over this boy, and I get that she lied, but like, really, I just thought it just seemed really immature to me. And like, this is the kind of high school drama that I heard about while I was in high school but never experienced, and like rightfully avoided. I do like how the book ended with Toby and Bree kind of taking this break from their friendship and accepting that they might not be as close as they were before. I can definitely understand that because they're so close and their identities were so interwoven with each other that they just didn't know who they were as individuals anymore. And that's what makes this book great, is that even though I didn't necessarily like some of these secondary characters, they have their own stories, they make their own developments, and it's not, there are multiple levels to this book, which I really liked. Other bits and bobs I enjoyed. I thought that the way her parents met was a cute story, like Stabby Bob, that was cute. I thought that was really funny. And I like the fact that her mom was an artist. I loved how Tom and Clark became fast friends and they became the best of bros. And Andy walks in to like pick up Birdie, maybe hang out with Clark, and then Tom is already there and they're marathoning the Batman movies, and it was perfect. It was just like, yep, it's just Tom was the perfect nerdy counterpart to Clark. And then Andy goes to Clark's signing at the end of the book and Tom is already there like, hey, yep, I'm already here, as a friend and supporter of Clark's. I think, looking back, I think that the secondary characters played a bigger role than I thought that they did. They're in a large portion of the book and they're really well developed. I love this whole text conversation that happens after Clark and Tom both know that Bree and Wyatt are dating, and then Andy's like freaking out. Tom might be mad at you. I know that. No, about something else, sorry. Oh, so now I can't act either. You said you liked my Henry Higgins. I did. Sure. Clark? I'm sorry, I needed an example. I think I could honestly read a full book about any one of these characters, particularly about Tom. I think I could read a whole book about Tom trying to find acting jobs in New York and whilst trying to maintain his relationship with Palmer, and like, oh, I'm picturing in my mind now and I want this. I might just write that as a fan fiction if Morgan Matson doesn't ever get on that. I hope she does. Morgan, please. Please. I think that's it for this video. If you haven't picked up Unexpected Everything by Morgan Matson, I suggest you do. It's wonderful. It's a perfect summer read. Do it. Go. Happy reading, everyone, and have a good day. Bye!